Okay, yes. I think I finally have this thing going live now once correctly. So please let me know in the comments if you can hear me and see me and maybe where you're from. I think there might be a few of you here. Um, I think I finally got it to work right, at least through Zoom. That's what I'm using this time. I tried to do it through Switcher a lot of times, but I couldn't get that to work at all. So I'm doing it through Zoom, and that appears to be working well. So if you can hear me, let me know, please. Oh, great. Okay, Michelle, super. From Chicago. Okay, so this is like the third time I've tried to do this live presentation of using the Silhouette software to make a really cool, actually what I think are beautiful cake toppers. So I tried yesterday a few times, like I said, and this is one of the ones that I made. And you can see the sparkliness of it. So that's actually glitter. And I'm going to show you a special new product to me for making that glitter, if you like the glitter look. And I'm also going to show you how to do the offsets in Silhouette. If you have a Cameo machine, it works perfectly. Or even if you have a Cricut Explore Air or a Cricut Maker, it works perfectly. For those, if you want to make something for those, you have to have the business edition of the software, which is only a $50 one-time purchase, about a $50 to $60. And I'll have a link for it somewhere below. Here's another one that I made. Did you see that sparkly stuff? So what I used for that is a new product to me, like I said. It's this product right here from Silhouette, but you don't have to have a Silhouette to use it. Matter of fact, let me change my view for you so that you can see better what I'm showing. So now I'm going to show you down here at my table top. All right. So this is what I'm using here. It's this new product to me from Silhouette. It's called double-sided adhesive sheets. And this is what allows me to really easily put the sparkly stuff on the cake toppers. And I think this would be really cool if you were making something like this, even for Halloween, you know, because there's some glitter that's greenish, that kind of creepy green looking color. But isn't that pretty? You can't tell it as easily on this screen as in real life, but you kind of get the idea. And let's see, here's another one that I made. And this one I put the stick on it, and I'll show you how I do that at the end if you haven't seen me do that yet. When in this camera, it kind of makes it look like it's a sheet of paint or vinyl or something, but it's not. It's definitely just little glitter, and it's super pretty. So, and this was the other one. I've just been making a lot of samples to try. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. All right, one last one. Let me show you this one. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up because I have my green screen, but next week I'm going to be showing on the 24th how to make this. It does show pretty well. This for Auntie Tay on her channel. And this again is the glitter, and I'm going to show you how to make this for a cake topper. Pretty large one, but I think it'd be really cool for Halloween. And that'll be on the 24th on Auntie Tay's channel. So let's see. Let me get started here. Move some of this stuff out of the way. And I'll show you, well, here's some of the products that I've already cut out because I'm sure you don't want to watch me cut everything out. So I will be ready to go. And I accidentally had some tape on it right there. I got to get off. But anyway, I'm going to start up there at Silhouette, and I'll show you how to do all these offsets and how to get this stuff cut. That's the double-sided adhesive that does all the secretive stuff. So I'm going to go up here to a new share. Let's go back to my screen. Okay, and since it's already past 1 o'clock, obviously class has started. So I need to go to the screen I want to be on, which is this one. All right, so here I have all the components made up. And so we need a black piece and this pink piece and a white piece. So let me set them in order for you so you can see. I'm going to bring this one to the front and put it here. Then I'm going to bring this one to the front by right click and say bring to front, and bring this to the front. So that's what I'm going to make today. Although I think, I've already done a pink one and a blue one, and those are for my grandbaby, twin grandbabies. This, I think I'll make it green in case somebody has a Halloween-ish birthday. I'm going to make this one the green glitter. And the glitter that I'm using happens to be this Silhouette glitter. Maybe you can see it. It comes in a really nice little handy container, and I'll show you it more. And I'll have a link for it down below in case you would like to get it. But a link for this and for that double-sided adhesive tape, so you can look it up and see what it is. Okay, so let's get started, and I want to show you how we do this. So the first thing that I did, let me move this out of the way. I came way over here to the text tool on the left. And then I came over here and I just typed in the words. Let me get my, okay. I just typed in the words happy birthday. So happy, and then on the next line, I wrote down birthday. Okay. And while you're watching this, if you know of any friends that like Silhouette software, if you could ask them to join, that would be terrific. I'm thinking if I get like 25 viewers, I'll have a giveaway of one of these packages of the Silhouette double-sided adhesive sheets. Okay, so anyway, let's go on. I'm going to highlight this now because I don't want to use that font. I'm going to change the font. Now, I know a lot of people like Magnolia font, Magnolia Sky, but I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use one that my friend Tammy found, and it is called, and it's free from defont.com. It is called, let me put this back up here, so you're not just watching on the screen. It is called October Twilight. And there's October Twilight. It changed just like that. And I'm going to show you the difference. I'm going to hold down my Alt key and grab this back, and then I'm going to change this one into the Magnolia Sky that a lot of people like, and I'll show you the difference between them. You see how skinny some of these lines are here on Magnolia Sky? I really want them to be thicker. So I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use the October Twilight. So let's delete that. Okay, so here we have it, and I'm going to make it much larger so you guys can see it easily. And what I'm going to do, you know what I have to do, the very first thing, one of the first things is to weld it. Because just like in any software, lots of times text has overlapping letters like this. And there's those little crazy lines that would cut and wouldn't be right at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld it. And all I have to do is right click, since both of them are selected, both words, and click on weld. And then notice what happened to that part of the P that was being cut out. Sorry, it's no longer being cut like that. So let's scroll back out. And now we have the word happy birthday, and that looks pretty good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them closer together. Whoops, I want to move that. First thing I want to do, y'all, is you see this little dot of this I. I'm going to move it over here so it touches the R, and then, whoopsie, and then I'm going to weld that together, that, and hold down my shift key and grab the word birthday, right click and say weld. So then that little dot's going to stay right where I want it to stay. All right, so now I'm going to move this up like this and make sure things are touching how I would like them to, and that looks pretty good. I could move it over like this if I want to a little bit more so that it's kind of centered. That looks great. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and weld these together. Now I do want to make sure that the H and the B are overlapping a little tiny bit more because I'm not sure if they are. So I'm just going to hit the down arrow on my keyboard. There we go. And now I can just group all of this, or highlight all of it, grab it all and say weld. Perfect. All right. Now that looks really terrific to me, but there's a few things I want to fix. Now, if you're new to Silhouette software, this might be a little confusing to you, but I'm just going to use the node tool, or what it's also called over here up in the upper left-hand corner. It's also known as the point editing tool, or the points. All I have to do to get those is to double click on this, and you notice all those little points that show up. You scroll in a little closer again. See all those little points? I usually call them nodes. Either word is correct. So all those little nodes show how the machine is going to roll around here to cut things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, I'm over here in the over left-hand side of the H. I'm going to click on one of these little nodes. Right now it's a little black dot, and I'm going to zoom in again so you can really see, I hope. Okay, right now this thing is a little black dot. When I click on this node right here, it's going to change it to a little white square, which means it's the node that I'm working on. I'm going to click on it. Did you see it turn into a little white square? That means that I'm able to manipulate it now, or edit it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to delete it actually. And I just have to hit delete on my keyboard, and it's going to get rid of this little spot right here. And the reason I want to get rid of that little spot right there is because even though it doesn't seem so, this little area right here is very, very tiny. So I'm going to click on it and delete it, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to come over here and look for any more little tiny ones like that. Here's one. This is awfully small, and I don't really need it to cut out. So I'm going to click on that and say delete, just like that. Again, now I need to scroll out a little bit so you guys can see, and I can see what I'm working on. All right, here we go. So here's another little place over here on the Y, the end of the Y. I'm going to click on that little node. It's going to go from dark to the light color, and I'm going to hit delete. And notice this time it didn't totally go away. So what I need to do is I need to delete it a few times, because what happened was after I deleted that first node, it made the next node into a little white box, meaning it was ready to be worked upon or used. And that means I can delete it by hitting delete on my keyboard. Gone. All right, I think that I also deleted out the inner part right here of the letter P, because you'll see these are not necessary. The same for this one there. It's a little box. Hit delete on my keyboard and it's gone. And look at this little tiny piece right here. That does not need to be cut out. It won't show up. It'll probably be a mess when my Cricut or Cameo try to cut it. So I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to show you in a minute a quicker way to delete some of these. But for this blue, which is going to be green section, we will just do it this way. So again, I clicked on one of the dark nodes. I'm going to hit delete, and it's gone. Scroll back out and hit delete for this. Delete, delete. I don't need that. Let's go over here to this part. I won't need this. Delete, delete. Okay, so let's go. Whoopsie. No. Delete, delete. Okay, so let's scroll back out and make sure. Oh, I see something I missed. I want to get the bottom of this Y right here. And I also want to get, oh, the name of this font. Hey, Susan, the name of the font, and I really like it. I'll show you right here. It's October Twilight. October Twilight, and it's free from dafont.com. All right, it's a good one, isn't it? It's pretty, but it's a little thicker. All right, so let's look at this H and then this Y over here. So I'm going to scroll in a little bit closer again. See that little slit? That doesn't need to be cut out. It'll just make a mess. So I'm going to double click to get the nodes or the points back. Click on one of them so it turns into a little square, and then hit delete. It's gone. One time more, go out like this, and I want to get the Y. So I can delete that like that. Yes, you're welcome. Okay, perfect. So there we have it. And that's the beginning. And I'm going to change that to green because I said I was going to make it green, just so I remember kind of what I'm doing. And I'm looking to see if I see anything weird that needs to be taken out of this. And it actually looks pretty darn perfect to me. So I'm ready to continue on. So the next thing I want to do is, you see this little outer white offset? Oh, and the reason why I'm using black was because I don't have that many colors of cardstock, and I kind of thought it made it pop. But of course you can use any colors you like. But my first offset, if you look right here on the left, is white. So let's come back over here to this text that we've already adjusted or fixed. Ah, I see something else I didn't do and I did before. Let me see. Oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Let's see. I guess I'll leave it as it is for now since I colored that in. Just trying to see if I could get it back easily, but I cannot. So I guess I'll leave it like that. And maybe I should make this one the same so they kind of match. So let me delete. There we go. Okay. I did like it better with that little circle in there. And you know what I could have done? Look at y'all. I think I will try to do this. Let's see how it works out. I'm going to draw a little oval right here. And maybe I needed to swirl it around a little bit. Because I really didn't want to cut that out because I thought it looked better with it there. Okay, so that little blue oval is selected. While it's selected, I'm going to hold down my Shift key and select the text. And then I'm going to come over here to the Modify panel. Way over here on the right, you'll see it's gotten a bluish color now since I'm hovering over it. And I'll click on the Modify panel. And I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm going to say Subtract. Yep, perfect. Yay. So that's what I want. So I want to do the same thing for back to the word happy. So I'm just going to come over here and grab a circle over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to draw one right in here. And I'm going to rotate it around. And maybe I want it to be a little tiny bit fatter. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I have that selected. I'm going to hold down my Shift key and select the rest of the word and come over to the Modify panel. If it's not open over here anymore, what I can do is just come down here on all of these panels over here. They seem really confusing when you're first getting started, but believe me, in about a week or two, you will know a couple of these. Hey, especially if you sign up for my classes on my website that are free, you get 5 of them free once a week. I really highly recommend them if you're getting new with started with Silhouette software, because they walk you through all this stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and open that panel again and say Subtract. Okay, perfect. Yay, that's what I wanted. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and offset this for the white, as I said. So we just come over here to all of these panels again. And there's one that looks like a star, and it looks like it has an offset on it right down here. It's underneath actually the Modify panel. It's right here. And if you hover over it, notice it says Offset Panel. So I'm going to click on that. Here it is. Now notice everything in it is grayed out. I can't really do anything in this panel right now. That's because it's all, there's nothing selected. I need to select something on my mat first. So once I select the text, I can come back over here to this panel, and now look, I'm able to do things here. I can put an internal offset if I like, which puts one in the inside, or I can put an external, or just, they call it just offset, which puts it on the outside of the letters. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on Offset. Okay, do you see the offset? It drew around this automatically. I don't really want my offset to be that big, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to come right here to where it says distance, and I'm going to change that offset to 0. Now this again is up to you, whatever you like, but I like mine at 0.05. And I'm going to hit enter. And when I hit enter, watch what happens to the offset that's on the words happy birthday. Okay, did you see it get a lot smaller? I just want it a lot smaller like that right now so that it's just going to help make the green glitter pop. Okay, so I want to change it to a color of white. So I'm going to come way up here to the color palette. Now, I could change it to any color I like. I could change it to pink if I wanted. I could change it to any color. And of course, you know, it doesn't matter really what color I make it on my mat here. What matters is what color of cardstock or vinyl I put on my real mat. But this helps us to visualize what we're doing. So I'm going to make it white. Okay, that is perfect. So let's see. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this green out of the way because there's some stuff in this white that I don't really think needs to cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and use those nodes again and get rid of some of those. So I double click on this, I get the nodes again. And this time I'm going to show you the easier way to get rid of some more quickly. So if you hold down the shift key first on your keyboard and then drag your mouse over some, it'll highlight a group of them that are all together. Then you can just hit delete on your keyboard instead of doing them one by one. So I am going to get rid of all of these inner parts of these letters because I don't really think they're necessary. They're tiny and I like it better with just the white showing through the letters. Let's see. The D, so hold down my shift key and drag it across and get these nodes and then hit delete. Shift key down, drag and delete. All right, let's see. I want this left and I want this. Let's see. I think when I did mine earlier, I got rid of this middle part here. So shift and hold this down and delete. And both of these parts don't need to be here. So shift, and let's see if I can get them both at the same time. Yeah, I think I can. And delete. Okay, perfect. Okay, that looks really good to me, except for I see something that could be an issue. Now I want you to look right here where the I and the R go together. See this little, well, let me scroll in more closely so you can see. See these wee little teeny tiny, they're probably like this width of a hair. Cuts, I don't want those. I don't want my machine to have to do that. I don't want to have to try to weed something like that out. So hold down the shift key again, delete. Don't know, I did get them all. Shift, delete. Okay, now that I'm in this close, let's roll over this way and see. Okay, I see another problem that I think. See this really narrow area right here? I don't really think that that little narrow area is necessary. So here's something else you can do with the nodes. You could click on this one to highlight it, and then you can right click and say delete point or delete node. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. Okay, I like that a lot better. Do you notice that? It's a softer line right now, and it's not going to go way down there for no reason, really. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Here again, this is a little too pointy in my opinion. So I clicked on this node. I'm going to right click and say delete point. And I might even do a few more of these. Click on this. One of them is lit. Let's see, delete. I'm going to click on this one, then right click and say delete. All right, so that's probably a lot better. And I'm going to do the same with this one. And this is all just your preference, whatever you decide that you like. What we'll do next is I'll bring the green back over on top of this white just to see how it looks. And if we don't like it, we could add some nodes back in. It's really easy. At first, nodes seem really, really difficult, but once you practice with them a bit, they get to be easier and you actually start to kind of like them, believe it or not. So I see another one of those crazy little things right here. Right here. So I'm going to delete that point, I think, and see what happens. All right, that's fine, I think. And I'm going to delete this stuff over here. Delete, delete. Okay. All right. Before I do any more, let's bring the, let's change this to a gray color so we can see more clearly, or some other color. Gray. Yeah, sure. And let's bring the green back up and let's see how that's going to look. Okay. I think that that looks really good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is bring this back down, and now I need to add the offset to the gray. So once again, I'm just going to come over here. Offset panel's already open because I had dragged it over, but if it wasn't open, it's really easy to find. Just come over here in the panels, and if you don't know which one it is, just go slowly, and it says the name of each one of these panels. But very quickly, you'll learn that there are a few panels over here that you like to use a lot. The offset panel being one of them. So I'm going to click on the star that has an offset around it. And I already have this item selected. You see the box around it? So now I'm just going to come over here to offset. Now you remember on the first one, what I did was I said to offset it and I changed the offset. 0.125 is the default. For the first offset, the white one, I changed it to 0.05. For this black offset, I'm going to leave it just as it is. So I'm going to change it to black so we can see how it looks. And I'll just hit enter on my keyboard, or I could say apply. And that looks pretty good. So let's bring the green back up. Okay, it's looking pretty good, except for that gray looks pretty ugly. So let's change that to white now because it'll show up easily now. There we go. All right, see how that pops better? Okay, now look carefully at the black and you're going to see some spots that you do not want to have in there. Look at this little teeny weeny cut and this little teeny weeny cut. You don't want those to be in there. So let's scroll out a little bit again. I'm going to move the green off. I'm going to move the white off. So what we're left with is the black. Now, to be honest with you, some people maybe like having the black cut out like this so that you have a hole and you can see through your cake topper. But on mine, for stability and just because I like the look, I like to get rid of that too. So it's just a solid piece of black. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to double click to get the nodes again. And I'm going to hold down my shift key, grab these, delete, delete. I can do that on here. Hold down my shift key, grab those and delete. Whoopsie. Hold down my shift key, grab and delete. So I just keep doing this, hold down the shift and grab and delete the whole time, getting rid of all this junk. Okay, it looks like I'm just about done. Let's get rid of this one over here. And just like we had done in the beginning, if I prefer, I can just click on one of these dark nodes and it turns to white. And I can just hit delete on my keyboard. And you may think you're done right now, but I see two issues still. This one right here. I don't want that little mess to cut out or do whatever it's going to try to do. So I'm going to get rid of those nodes, delete. And then look at these right up here. Look at that little slit of stuff. What in the world? We don't need that. So double click again to get the nodes. Hold down your shift key and grab these and delete. Okay, so that's going to look pretty good. Let's go back out, and then in a minute I have these already cut out. I'm going to show you how to put them together and how to actually use that product that I told you about to easily put the glitter on, because I just love it. I think you're going to like it too. All right, so that's done. So if you have a Silhouette machine, all you have to do, and you will not mirror this because it's not HTV, you'll just do it regular like. So if what you'll do is go to send. And let me delete these other ones over here so they don't confuse us. Oops, I got to go back to design first and delete these three things. All right, let me make this spookier green. Okay, there. All right, so let's go to send. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to cut, and I don't have to move these off the mat, as you know or may not know, but you don't have to. The first thing I'm going to cut, though, is the sticky double-sided material that I told you about that's new to me from Silhouette that I love using. So over here, I have a couple of things checked in the send panel. I'm going to click on this button right up here to unselect everything. And then the only thing I'm going to cut this time is the green. Now, if you look here, notice what it says the material is that it thinks I'm cutting. It thinks I'm cutting cardstock plain, but I'm not. I'm going to get this drop-down menu, and there will be one that's labeled double-sided adhesive right there. That's what we need. So I have my ratchet blade in. You could use your auto blade. If you have your ratchet blade, make sure you set it to between 5 and 6 for me. Mine's usually closer to the 6 for the depth of the knife blade. And then these others are just fine because that's how they're set up. Okay, so that's how you would do that. In Cricut Design Space, it would work just the same. The only thing is I'm not exactly sure which setting you would need to use. So you would have to do a test on that, just a little scrap or a little corner on the same product that you're using and see if it cuts it correctly. So I've already cut all these things out. So now I'm going to have you come down to my desk and I'll show you how to put it together. So sorry about making a lot of noise. Okay. Let me change my share so that you can see what I'm showing now. Okay, so here we are at my tabletop, and you can see little tiny pieces of glitter. At least I can. Now maybe you can't, but I can't. Okay, so I'm going to get out the pieces that I need. I have 3 parts. Actually, I have 4 parts. Okay, this piece here is what's going to be for the double stick. This is the white offset, and then a black offset, and then a black backing. So first of all, I'm going to start with this. Again, this is this product right here, and I will have a link for it below. If you use my link, I get a small commission, and I appreciate your support, but you can get it anywhere actually. It's double-sided adhesive sheets. It's by Silhouette, but you can use it for any machine. And it tells how to use it on the back. I did have a little bit of an issue when I was trying to figure it out, but you'll know how to use it now. So I'm going to show you. All right, so here it is. Oh, I forgot to tell you, when you put this on your mat, you put it white side up. Notice there's a yellow side and a white side. The yellow side goes down, the white side stays up. And again, you do not mirror this because it's not HTV. So the first thing you'll do is, here's the word happy birthday. Notice I have the yellow and the white, so it cut this out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the yellow part, which will expose the sticky in between. So what that means is, here's a little scrap. Here's the yellow. If I can get it off, I did. Okay, if I get the yellow off, this is sticky right here, this part right here. After I get that off, I'm going to put this on wherever I need, and you'll see me doing it in a second. And then I'm going to take the white part off, and that exposes the sticky in the middle here. So basically what this kind of is like an Oreo cookie within the sticky on the inside is like the white icing on the inside, and this is the cookie on the outside that you'll be removing. So it's hard to get this started, but once you get it started, it's pretty easy to get going. So I use this tool. I've had pretty good success with it. Now, so what you have to do is, right now, I didn't get the right part sticking down. Look, the sticky is coming up. So that's not good. So I'm going to try again in a different spot. Let's try, and it doesn't matter where. I'm going to try right here. So what I'm trying to do, like I said, is just get the yellow to come up. And if I can just get the yellow, okay, I did it. Because see how it's sticking to my finger, this part? And that's what I need to stick. So now this is why you don't want to use a font that's got really, really skinny lines, because I have to peel this off, being careful not to break anything. It's really pretty easy. And as you go along, if this piece that's in like my left hand here bothers you, you can always just cut it off. I would say be careful when you do cut it off that you don't accidentally get down where you have to start trying to get just the yellow to come off again. You know what I mean? Like this is still peeking up, so I can easily, oops, I got a piece of junk. Can easily start this again like this. So I'm just about done. And you're going to see how this is so magical. I just love this stuff. So easy to use. And it just turns out really pretty. Now the glitter that I'm using is really, really fine glitter. You can use any glitter at all. For my project for Auntie Tay, I'm going to be using some of her glitter. Should be arriving in my mailbox soon, so I can show you her glitter and how that's going to work. All right, so this is ready to go now. So what I do is I pick this piece up, just bring it over like this, and I'm just going to line it up. Now I can just start down here at the bottom, and it's pretty forgiving, just lining it up as best I can, going from one side to the other, and that was perfect. So now I have the white that has the sticky inside of it. There's that little blob of something again. What the heck? Okay, so let's see. What I like to make sure before I finish is to make sure that there's no shiny stuff in any of these openings on the letters, because that would indicate that there is sticky there that needs to be removed. So that looks great. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start removing the white, and this part's usually easier. So I just grab this again, and yep, as long as you can see, maybe you can see, you probably can't, a little sheen here, because that's the sticky being stuck down or staying down right where I want it to stay. There we go. All right, so I just keep doing this, and I'm making sure that I see shiny staying down, that I'm not accidentally picking it up with this piece. So I want to make sure that all my stickum stays down. Okay, once this is all done, it's just about ready. Ah, perfect. Okay, so this is all trash right here. And the next thing I like to do is I like to use a piece of parchment paper so that I don't get this stuff all over my desk, which I seem to do anyway. Okay, that got pulled up a little bit right there, so I'm going to try to stick it back down. I could maybe turn it over and push on it. On the parchment paper, hope, hope, hope. Never tried that before. Yeah, it didn't. It worked. All right. So now what I'm going to do is, I said, I'm going to use this green. I think it'll be fun. This is the stuff I'm using. It's from Silhouette. It's a pretty cool little package. I like how they come, little set. So there's a white that you could use, or for Christmas. Wouldn't that be pretty on something? Here's the green that I'm going to use. I've already used this pink. The gold I used on that sample for Auntie Tay's thing. Let me show you how this shines. I don't know if you can tell, but ew, it is gorgeous. It looks kind of weird in the camera, I guess, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, is it pretty. Okay, then let's see what else. We got a silver and this pretty bluish color that's really pretty, and I put on that other happy birthday. So I'm going to use the green though, and just open it up, and you put a lot more on than what you think you need, and sometimes it seems like I've even used the whole darn container. You can use a paintbrush if you want to help move it around. So I'm just doing this. Hopefully you can see. And unfortunately, the glitter looks kind of weird in the picture because it's really, really pretty. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me put this back. Okay. Yes, hey Tammy, we already got that. All right, so then I'm just going to move this around a little bit, wiggle this around a little bit. And you guys are not going to believe how pretty this is. I mean, I love this. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. And the camera lens just does not do this justice at all. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous glitter. I wish you could really see how pretty it is. Okay, so let me set this aside. Make sure I get it taken off. And I've heard that some people like to use a paintbrush, so I did grab one to you can kind of scrape over this and get some of the extra parts off if you want to. But it's really stuck on there nicely. That looks beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so let me set this aside for a sec and clean up my mess before I spill it all over the place and lose it. Just like my rhinestones, I think this glitter is like my gold. I like to really keep it. So it looks like I've used a lot of this, but you know what? It's not even gonna look like I used any when I put it back in the container. This stuff's gonna last me forever and ever. Let's move that out of the way for now. Put the lid back on. And I'll show you what I do for the final product now. So let's see. Here's my happy birthday. And here is one of the pieces that I'm going to put this on. So I think it goes like this. Yes. Now it would be really hard to glue this on, I think. It would be a pain in my neck. So what I like to do is to just use any kind of spray adhesive that you have. Anything that you have would work. I'm going to go ahead and spray this down in my trash can. And then, because this is the perfect way to do it, and it'll be all nicely adhered. I see a lot of glitter on here. All right, let's see. So I'll try to get this on here pretty well. There we go. Great. Okay, just press it down. Okay, so this is just about done, this cake topper. Okay, it's beautiful, isn't it? But here's what else I like to do to finish it off. I like to actually make it into a cake topper. So to do that, what I do is if I go to a Chinese restaurant, you know, sometimes I'll ask if I can have an extra set of bamboo sticks and they'll give them to me. Or if I use them, and this is for my own cake or my, you know, somebody in my immediate family's cake, I will use these and then wash it and reuse it for this purpose. So I take the chopsticks singular, or I could use two if I thought I needed to. Then I'll just turn this over. And what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to put the other one. So I cut this part out twice. Okay, here we go. I'm challenged. There we go. So it's going to go like that. So what I'm going to do, make sure I'm not doing it upside down. I'm going to put the chopstick right here. I'm going to glue it down with my handy dandy hot glue gun, which I've had heating up here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here on the stick. Okay. And then I'll just take the stick and press it down in here. Yeah. Ouch. And then, where's my other piece? I got to make sure I have this lined up the way I need it to go. Okay, like that. So I'm going to take my glue again and put some more glue on this stick. And then some more blobs of glue maybe around the edges here. A little bit. Very quickly, because you know how quickly this stuff dries. All right, there we go. I just throw this in a cup. I think I've shown you that before. I'll show you at the end. And just bring this over and put it on the back like this, because it makes a nice backing so that you don't see the stick. And let's see if you can see it. Looks like this. It's probably going to look weird because of the green screen. But isn't that pretty? I mean, that is a nice table topper, I think. So let's put it back down here. Okay. So that's it. That's pretty much how to do it. Oh, okay. I guess that's all I have to show you for today. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Please give me a thumbs up. And I tell you what, if I have like at least 25 comments below this video, I'm going to give away one of these packages. I accidentally bought two. So I'll give away one of these packages if I have at least 25 comments below the video. Thumbs up and comments. And I'll send this to you in the mail. Package. It's a package. You get 8 of them in a package. So thanks. And share this with your friends. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. Also, I'm still trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. And the last thing, if you are a Silhouette user, the Silhouette software, please take advantage of the free classes I have over there if you're struggling. They're on my website at PattyAnnesPlace.blog. And you can go there and just sign up for the 5 free classes and you'll get one once a week. So again, thanks for joining me. See you all again soon. Bye.